just because you don't like it doesn't mean that there's not someone else who might like it, even if it's not
Hmm.
something that, maybe it could be someone else's favorite. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like you're just one person, and just because your feelings feel a certain way about it doesn't mean that someone else's feelings is going to change because of
Yeah.
that. And then also like, it's like I'm a big advocate for like kind of like sometimes you can scratch stuff or like kind of like just move on from something. Like, yeah, maybe this wasn't like your strongest one, but it's like if you put that out, then like, you know, it's like, yeah, this maybe I could keep working on this and prolong it and keep putting it out, which sometimes it's necessary. Don't get me wrong, but like it's like um sometimes we'll just keep prolonging this thing that's basically there. Like it's there, and it's like but it's there's a certain point where we're just being nitpicky, and like sometimes it's like, all right, maybe this isn't like the fullest of quality, and I could sit here and waste 3 more weeks on it, and then put it out. But it's like almost putting all your eggs into one basket when you can just kind of put that out, let it be what it is, and then move on to the next thing. And that thing could
Yeah.
be the thing that's good. So it's like,
You
that's
don't
what
want
I've
to
been trying to
stagnate.
just realize. Exactly. Because then it's like you put all this, imagine if you put like, you have $20 million and you put $20 million into a single and then you put it out and like for some reason a majority of people don't mess with it. Then it's like you kind of
Yeah.
just waste all that money when, maybe the next one. So it's like that's why you have to kind of like play even with each track and like just kind of put it out even if you don't think it's the best because
Hmm.
maybe people will just resonate with that one better. You
Yeah.
never know.
So when
So
you're making beats and people are like, "Oh, you're getting better," music is often so subjective. So like, how do you measure that, like that you're getting better? Because I
um
know, for example, like when I talk to like he'll have some of his older songs that he likes more than some of his newer ones. And that doesn't mean that he's not getting better or that
yeah,
you're not getting better, but it's like you might put something out that you really like and like you're still getting better in terms of, I don't know, like what does that mean in this in like in
well,
your world?
from the example you just gave about Dino, like for instance, like with that, it's like I think for one, just to put it out there, like you're never gonna appreciate anything in the moment as much as you're going to in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so to him, it's like maybe he doesn't like that stuff as much because he's trying to make it like his old, like it's kind of just like him comparing and contrasting, and he's comparing it to his old stuff. He's like, oh, this stuff's better, and that's kind of like, and I feel like that a lot of that does come from like just like how like fans are and media is. It's just like they always are trying to like judge whatever the new thing is, and everyone's always, oh, like I like the old stuff better. You know what I mean? Like that's just how
Yeah.
people are because they're nostalgic to that. Of course, they're gonna like it better. If you just heard a song for the first time today, you're not gonna like it the same as a song you've heard to listened to 100 million times. That's literally how the radio works. It's like you just play it into your brain so you start liking it. And you don't even realize you can hate the song at first. And then as soon as they play it a million times and it's on the radio all the time, you learn all the words, then you just start liking it for some reason.
Yeah.
Even if you do hate it, like you hate the idea of it, but for some reason you hate that it convinced you to start liking it for some reason. But so there's that. But I think I kind of just measure it's like I know for me it's like I measure my progress differently than people measure my progress.
Hmm.
So I measure my progress from I know just from like learning and doing all these different things, like what I think sounds the best.
Hmm.
Um, and but then it's also like my whole goal, right? Especially like right now, like maybe it'll be different along the line, but right now it's like you have to have at least some sort of virality or like some sort of like mainstream, what do you call it, like trait in your music for it to go viral most of the time. Like
Yeah.
so I'm trying my whole goal is to try to make something that's unique but like familiar because I think that that's so when I hear people say, oh, you're getting better, it's not that I feel like, oh, like I think that they think that I'm getting better and I'm like, oh yeah, like basically yeah, you're right, like basically now my stuff is mixed better or it's this or that. My thing that how I measure is, oh, I'm connecting with people more. The stuff that I'm making is is more familiar to them, and they are going to be more likely to hop on it because they understand it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I kind of measure that when people say that. It's like, okay, like because when you start making stuff, especially in the beginning, it's like you don't really care about like the media that much or like what's mainstream. You just want to make stuff that you want to make But then when
Yeah.
you realize, oh, you have to start making money and you want to do it for a living, it's like you have to start kind of compromising some of those things to be able to attract, you know what I mean? It's just the business. So so yeah, pretty much I think that that's kind of like, you know, it makes me just when people say that, it makes me feel like I've taken the sound that is my sound and I've made it so that other people can digest it. So I think that
Mm,
that's kind of like where I measure it.
mm.
Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of
I
like
hadn't.
how I it's not, but it's not me thinking, oh, like this is better than this or whatever it is. It just means that I think that, you know, it's cool that other people like it more and are more um can can understand it now. Whereas before it's like if I made something that's really great, it's like obviously like it's that's great for me because I can listen to it. But when other people connect with it as well as you, like that's always gonna boost it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's like,
that makes
haha,
sense. I hadn't thought about it like that before.